Rolls him back in. Oh, and Harris wants no part of this. He's begging off.
Well, Bryan Castle doesn't want to disappoint everybody, all his fans here in Toledo.
And those huge forearms right into the side of the head. Jason Harris whips him in hard. Here we go. Steam engine. Oh, and he misses. And look at that. Neck breaker. And Castle goes down, Norm.
Well, now we'll find out what Jason Harris has.
Well, after those last two moves, I'm pretty impressed. He's moving quick, goes for a cover, hooks the leg, not enough to put away Bryan Castle.
He's going to have to do a lot more than that, though.
About a minute ago, Harris was trying to hightail it back to the MGM Grand, and now look at this. He's got Castle down. Boot into the side of the head. Another one.
Well, I know Bryan Castle doesn't want to disappoint the fans, but he would have had a win had he let him go.
Exactly. You know, sometimes you're better off, whether it's, via count out or whatever. Let him go, take the win, and live to fight another day. Bringing Castle back up to his feet. Castle tries to fight back. Couple of shots into the midsection on Harris. Harris is back into the ropes. There's a whip in. He goes off the ropes hard. Castle ducks down and is met with a knee right into the upper chest. And quickly now Harris goes for a cover. Capitalizes, tries to seize that opportunity. Again, goes for a cover, really cinching back on that, but not enough to put him away.
Well, now the sharp-dressed man showing his true colors.
I guess this is the Jason Harris that impressed the committee, which is why he was able to get in here to the WWA.
Now, he's not going to overpower Bryan Castle. We haven't seen anybody do that yet.
No, not at all.
But if you take his air away.
He was trying to lean on him as he was working into that rear chin lock, but Castle's off the ropes. Doesn't know where Jason Harris was as Harris followed him into the ropes, then met him with that lariat from behind, that blind lariat on Bryan Castle. Using that bottom rope for an additional boost to get himself up as he drops that size 13 right into the upper back of Bryan Castle.
Well, Bryan Castle's in trouble now.
Well, you've got the big guy off of his feet.
He is in a lot of trouble.
And Harris again going to town on Bryan Castle. Some elbows delivered to the back of the head.
Well, we'll see if Bryan Castle's got the intestinal fortitude to come back here. He's going to have to dig deep.
Harris is all about the attack, and notice how good of a competitor Jason Harris is.
Well, now he's hesitating.
Yeah, but when he's not dealing with the fans or trying to give the ring announcers specific instructions, he's a very good wrestler, but this is distracting him, and you wonder if it's going to cost him.
Once again, he's going to the throat. Trying to take the air away from Bryan Castle. That's not a bad strategy.
Well, his best bet is going to be not to allow Castle to get back up to his feet. Castle is up to his feet right now, but really not standing erect, bent over as he sent headfirst into that top turnbuckle. And a couple of big forearms to that back, that massive back of Bryan Castle. And look at that. Spins around, back elbow. Castle had nowhere to go as he was placed into that corner, but Harris goes for a cover, leans back, hooks a leg, and only gets a 2 count. Wasn't a 3, it was a 2.
Bryan Castle's been taking a lot of punishment here.
I can't think of a time that I've seen this much punishment dished out to Bryan Castle.
He's in a lot of trouble, but then again, Jason Harris is hesitating here a little bit. He's got to stay on top of him.
No, don't let Castle get back up. Don't let Castle regain any of his wins.
That's what he did. He regained his vertical base.
Gave him just
Castle's
enough.
Trying to turn it around.
Castle goes off the ropes right in front of us. Drop toe hold. Castle deposited. I was again nervous for our safety there, Norm, as they were right in front of the broadcast position.
Well, face first right in front of us. You got to wonder what Bryan Castle has left. He's glassy-eyed. Look at him.
It's a lot of weight for Jason Harris to bring up to his feet, but that's exactly what Harris did.
Castle right in front of us. You can see the eyes rolling up in the back of his head.
Side Russian leg sweep. takes him down, goes for a cover. Once again, really leans back as he hooks that leg. Doesn't put him away, though.
He doesn't have much left, though, now.
No, not at all. And look at that. Look at the positioning here. He's got what's called the cravat cinched in as he really just kind of reverses how he's pulling away on that head, but also using his own legs to separate the legs of Bryan Castle.
That's another one.
Another has him throwing out, yes, the cravat, yes.
Yeah. But once again, it looks like it's taking some of the air out of him.
I'm really not sure from this point how Castle is going to be able to
he's
regain
not done.
that vertical base, though.
I thought he was done. He's not done.
Castle's really going to have to fight back. And yeah, there he goes. He has to separate those legs of Jason Harris, which he did. Castle is up, shots into the middle on Jason Harris. Another one just for good measure. But quickly, Jason Harris cuts him off. Castle going for a ride. There's the whip in. We see a reversal. Harris is off the ropes. Oh, big drop kick. Where did Bryan Castle get enough energy to fire up with that drop kick?
I have no idea. Now he's got to get up.
Both wrestlers are down. They'll have to a count of 10 to get themselves up to their feet. It looks like Harris is going to make his way up first. Harris is up. Castle is up. What are we going to see here? Blocks a punch. Castle throws one of his own. Harris punch is blocked. Another punch from Bryan Castle. Third punch blocked. Harris tries to duck. He's still waiting. He's like, all right, where's that punch? This isn't going to be good for Jason Harris. And there's that third punch, and the fourth one, and the fifth one. Off the ropes, Harris sent for a ride. Big clothesline, Harris goes down. Back elbow, Harris goes down again, but he's back up. And just a double knife edge chop into the throat. Goes for a cover, doesn't hook a leg, only gets a 2 count.
Where did this second win come from?
I don't know where he got it. Maybe he's feeding off of the energy of the fans. Hooks the leg off of the elbow drop, only gets a 2 count on that one as well. Still a lot of fight left in Jason Harris.
But not as much as about 5 minutes ago.
Yep, not quite as much, and Harris is going to be the one who has to dig deep now. Sends him in. Castle goes in after.
Oh!
Freight train. There's your collision in the corner. Picks him up. Has him up on his shoulders.
I know where he's going.
Oh, my gosh. Hooks the leg. I can't believe he kicked out of that. Deposited after the slam, and Harris is able to kick out.
I don't think he quite got all of it.
And Harris is able to slide his way out. He's off the ropes. Spinning neck breaker. Maybe it's just enough. He floats right over, hooks the leg, and he's resting all of his body weight on top of Bryan Castle, trying to make sure that Castle can't kick out, but still, Castle digging deep, able to get out before the 3.
Well, as much clowning as Jason Harris did early, he's a very talented wrestler.
I'm very impressed with what we're seeing right now, but also impressed, not only with Jason Harris, but with Bryan Castle going into those reserves, continuing to fight here in the WWA.
Harris trying to go for a brain buster. He ain't going to get him up in a brain buster. There's no way.
No chance.
And not this late in the match.
Castle fights it. And look at that. Castle with another scoop slam. Oh! Could have broke his back on that one. Oh, and Castle is angry now. And Harris has no idea where he is, has no idea where Bryan Castle is. Spins him around, has him set up.
There it is.
Hooks the leg, back Russian leg sweep. Goes for the cover. Bryan Castle is your winner.
He calls it the public execution. A neck breaker combination with a Russian leg sweep.
And the crowd is going nuts as your winner is Bryan Castle.